Welcome to an episode of Barwin Saturdays, and this way I decided to take a look at Albert, Up, Up and Away. Also known as Albert, a 2015 Danish production based on a book from 1968 by an author whose name I'm not going to even attempt to pronounce because being a dumb American, I'm sure I'll absolutely butcher it in ways that'll make people want to hit me. I know I do that plenty when I try and pronounce Japanese names, and clearly I have no idea what I'm doing. Like, just take a look at Bleach the Third Phantom for examples of that. I mean, I've seen people give me pronunciation guides, and I'm just like, it doesn't help, okay? Like, it does not help me. Like, you might as well point me to clips of the show where they say it correctly. It's about the only way I'll learn is by hearing it said, which is probably sad in its own way, but they don't really teach that stuff properly in schools in America anymore, I'm sorry. Ugh. And speaking of sorry states, the author behind the book died rather young. He was only 38 years old and also was a teacher. Apparently, when he was heading home one night, he was just absolutely plastered and passed out in the snow. And just never got up again, so he froze to death. Yeah, that's a thing that happened. And maybe because he was so young, when he was kicked off this mortal coil, a lot of his books were never really released in English. A couple have been translated, but most of them, are only ever been released in Danish, which probably explains why, there's Danish adaptations of his work, for a TV series and stuff like that. But he's not probably that well known outside of the Danish people, because, who knows about most authors, that, they have almost no English releases, if you're an English speaker. Like, you're not usually going to go out of your way in America to learn a foreign language, is all I'm saying. Like, there's a reason why there's a joke about how you call a person that speaks one language American, because we're just that cocky and arrogant that we don't bother learning foreign languages in school. Unless you want to take an elective, like in French, like I did for two semesters. And don't ask me to even try and say anything in French, because I've forgotten all about that stuff, for the most part, because I never used it. If you don't use it, you lose it. It's been a long time. As for the movie itself, I have a few issues with it. For starters, we got some poop and fart jokes, which, for an adult audience, doesn't tend to go over very well. Because it just seems really immature when you do bodily humor jokes.
Ah, well, let's pretend you have some money. You can have it for $500. Huh?
Yeah, it's leaking. $200, not a cent more.
2, our main character is supposed to be both smart and extremely stupid. Like, he makes lots of inventions and stuff. At least I have to assume that was what he did when he used a crane to lift his best friend out of a window in order to kidnap him in the middle of the night to force him to go on an adventure with him down the river in a barrel that used to house fish, that had been captured. So, yeah, there's that. But as for why I say he's also meant to be dumb, he gets swindled by a pickpocket who tells him he's a pickpocket, and he watches him steal from, a poor goat rancher who only has a single fat goat to his name. And still, believes his story about how the biggest diamond in the world is his personal possession and was stolen from him. Like, how could you be dumb enough to believe that? Like, even his best friend Egon sees through all of their shenanigans. He's like, dude, we're being played. And Albert's like, no, we're not. I'm like, dude, you just saw him steal from a poor person after saying he's like Robin Hood. Like, how can you trust him at all, knowing, he's a criminal, and not the kind that helps out the poor either. And then 3, we have the depiction of the Romane in this film, which is very stereotypical. I mean, I get it. It's based on a book from 1968, so it makes sense they went that route. But at the same time, the fact that they're attached to a carnival and one of them's a fortune teller definitely, might strike some people, as very inappropriate.
Give me a glimpse of what it sees. Oh, la la, mama. Crystal ball, let me what the future will be. I don't believe it.
Then there's just the general story itself. Like I said, like a lot of the stuff pushes forward on the characters being dumb. I know it's meant to be comedic, but and so I get a scene where one of the police officers is like, "Call the police!"
The diamond was stolen. Stolen, you say? But that's theft. Theft? Call the police!
The comedy just didn't work for me that well. I mean, maybe if I was a younger kid, I might enjoy the fact the police are just as dumb as the kids. But it just feels like I'd prefer a smarter comedy than this. But again, like I said, this is aimed for young kids, not the older kids, like the young kids. So it's hard for me to really feel I can judge this completely fairly, but yeah, I just don't like it that much. The animation for 2015 feels a bit underwhelming. I mean, I realize this wasn't made by Disney or Pixar or any of the other big names, but still, I feel a bit disappointed by how stiff it is. But if you like it, more power to you, but I don't think I'm going to watch this one again. I also find it a bit disappointing that we have the girl on the hot air balloon, on the cover here, but she never actually rides it in the movie with the boys. There's a scene where she's in it, but she's with her grandfather. Till next time, then. See ya.
Clever? Let me have a look. Can you believe it? I think he's grown again.
Dear citizens, I am deeply saddened to inform you that Kelly Town is now a town without a statue.
The boy must supply us with a new one.
He's only a little boy. By the way, his name is Albert.
Yeah. He can do that when he grows up. You are so sweet.
Well, in that case, it's settled then. I can only wish that Albert could get us a real hot air balloon captain to once again make Kelly Town proud, rich, and famous.